Okay, so this is kind of my first script, not literally, but my first script for a rant video, kind of. And I'm hoping the video is high quality, but I'm in a somewhat empty room, very echoey, and my dad's playing games outside. So he might be able to hear me, and I might be able to hear him. The mic might pick up on it. So that's just a quick disclaimer. Also, one more thing, I am a little bit sick, so I might be out of breath and pause or say a word wrong, and I'm sorry about that. But let's continue. Oh, wait, yeah, one more thing I want to add is I think you guys obviously know this, but it's a rant. I'm ranting, so like it might not be completely accurate because I'm just ranting about the topic, if that makes sense. I'm not saying I'm not saying hold on. Okay, so we're we're back. I did not mean to cut that off, but I'm not saying that the like stuff I'm ranting about is undeniably truth, and if I mention a creator or an author you like, I'm not saying they absolutely did this or they're a creep, they're a PDF. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's weird and tropes I don't like. So let's start. I the main thing I want to talk about is the unnecessary sexualization. It seems like almost every anime has. Whether it's like for women or men, there's a lot. And to be honest, I don't really mind it if it's an adult character, even though I find it like somewhat oh man, because that means I probably can't watch the anime. But what I am disappointed in, and what I am talking about, is characters that are not adults that get treated that way and get pulled into these tropes. So that's what we're talking about. One example I'd like to say, um, one example I'd like to say that I saw today is an artwork, or rather panel K Urana, I think that's how you pronounce the name K Urana, made of a character Rio or Ryu. And I already feel somewhat weird about Rio or Rio because her outfit in age, I thought it was a little bit weird. Not anything that's like insane for anime, it's just kind of a lot of skin if you thought about it in real life, which I did. And the panel is basically Rio showering, and her chest is covered by her hair. And it's a side angle, so you don't really see any parts. But I thought it was kind of explicit because the character is meant to be 15 or 16. And considering Kei Urana is a female, to me this makes it even more disappointing because I'd assume she wouldn't want or wouldn't in general do that to a minor character. And I see this quite often with the animes I'm allowed to watch. Like another example, and as much as I love My Hero Academia, considering it was my first anime series, watch it with my family and everything, the author I think was definitely a little bit weird. Like not a pervert or anything, but I would say he was a little bit weird in my opinion. Like apparently there was some weird stuff he said in his manga, like the little author notes. Allegedly, I haven't seen any photos, I just have heard of that apparently. And if you hear that, please ignore it. But allegedly, because this is just what I've heard, but allegedly, the author of the manga, I really hope I don't butcher this, but Kohei Horo, no, Horokoshi or Hirokoshi. I think it's Hirokoshi, but that wouldn't make sense. I'm hoping I didn't butcher the name, but he had said that Mineta was a self insert OC, which is very weird when you realize Mineta is literally kind of just a loser pervert. Not to mention things like Momo's shirt literally tears off mid-fight. Her chest is also out in her uniform. She has a short skirt, and the back of her uniform is also out as well. And admittedly, despite finishing the whole series, I can't quite remember all of the gooner things that have happened because more near the end, it's just, to me, angst and very dark, which I like, but undeniably, there definitely was weird stuff. Like the scene where Mineta literally squeezed Fruppy's chest, and another where Homeboy is literally using sticky balls, which that's what it's called, to climb up the wall and see, I think, the girls in the bathhouse or something. And there is a lot more stuff I remember, but I feel like it's inaccurate and I might have remembered the scene wrong, which is why I'm not going to see it. But they did, for some reason, that I mildly remember, but I think it's inaccurate. They did show the scene of like all of the girls like in the water or whatever, and it was like somewhat censored. And Minetta obviously didn't see. I guess some character did. I don't know. But I thought it was kind of unnecessary to add. I was like, oh. There's also various other things that happen in anime that just honestly anger me and also chill me to the core. Like, I've watched Chainsaw Man. I know it's inappropriate. That kind of seems like the basis. Like, the main character, Denji, is literally a horny teenage boy, which is why I'm not like, oh my gosh, why would they add this? Because I expected it. But what, to me at least, doesn't make sense is these irritating tropes that always, like almost always, appear in animes I watch that I don't expect weird stuff from. It just seems completely unnecessary. And forgive me if I'm insensitive. I don't want to call this Japanese culture, but I also don't want to lie in case it is. I believe it is, but I'm not 100% sure. Because I've seen people say, like, that's just a part of their culture, and I'm actually not sure if that's true or not. So take it with a grain of salt, but I really do not understand the weird, absurd? Yeah, I suppose that's what it is. I don't really understand these weird tropes they have to add. And they'll be like very perverse too. Like, there's a panty trope that it's just like, it's frequently in anime, specifically older ones. It's just not necessary at all. They had it in Sailor Moon, they have it in Ranma, which I actually wanted to watch before I decided not to do at all because of the tropes. There have literally been times where I have to shut off anime within 5 minutes, unironically, because the tropes would just be absurd. Like, trust me, I'm sorry. Sorry for this explicit, but trust me, we do not need an upskirt shot of a teenager. It's literally disgusting. And another trope that I genuinely despise, like, I don't know why they do it so much, because at this point, it's genuinely made me hate the word, but lollies. I really hate them. Like, I truly, with all my heart, hate them. I will block them out as soon as I see one. But unfortunately, I've made an exception for one because I find her absolutely adorable. Beatrice. Now, I'm only on season 1 of ReZero, and not even close to the end, so please no spoilers. However, I really do love her. I think she's adorable, even though she's like 1,000 years old. I see her as like a bratty baby. Like, Beatrice is my child. I love her so much, but I hate that the trope exists. Like, I don't know if it makes sense to say it or call it the trope, but like, what I mean is, okay, so as I was saying, what I mean is the concept of it could be cool. Like, someone looking like a kid and being like 1,000 years old could be cool. I know it sounds weird, but it could be. Like, maybe they're a spy. I know that's such a basic, uncreative thing, but like it could be used and manipulated in cool ways, but I feel like it almost never is, and if it is, it's still used to weirdos' advantage because they'll literally just be deliberately sexualizing the character, and then when you comment on it, they're like, "Oh, they're a million years old." Well, actually, you don't understand. Fairies age differently. Like, okay, sure. Except, why do they look and talk like a toddler? Why do they sound like a toddler? Like, come on now. I've seen it with Beatrice since I made the mistake of searching her on Pinterest. Um, Literally, I just wanted to save some cute photos. It's genuinely so unnecessary to make weird stuff of characters that literally look like children. Like, she, oh my God, I'm not even gonna get too heated on it, but I hate it. It's so unnecessary and just weird. Not to mention the first actual lolly trope I got introduced to was actually Nadia, which I'm sorry, but I genuinely dislike her. I have genuine beef with that character after the quest I had to deal with. And with Nadia, to be honest, I've never really found her cute. She's kind of irritating to me, but besides that, she's apparently 500. However, she speaks and looks like a toddler, despite her being the Archon of Wisdom, which somewhat crosses off the act like a child thing, even though I'd argue that she does. But also, I haven't played Genshin in a while, and I might have forgotten some things, but my point is, when I tell you I've seen outrageous art and mods of this girl, I genuinely cannot believe. And these weirdos, they hide behind the excuse that they're, or specifically Nadia, she in that case, is an adult, which is true, but also at the same time, we're not about to play this game, dude. And honestly, I can't look at an anime the same as soon as I see a lolly character because as I feel like it's just done for weird purposes. Like, yes, they're cute. They're literally meant to look cute. But to me, at least, it feels like every time an anime it has it, they're either sexualized in the show or outside of it. And I'm not sure if this is unfair, but the reason why I somewhat put this on the author slash creator, even though they can't control how people treat a character, is because I feel like a lolly being added is done to give these cramps a creeps, not cramps. Sorry, is done to give these creeps a character to like. That might be unfair. It might be an unfair assumption, but that's kind of just how I feel about it. Another trope is the little sister or big brother trope that I've also seen talked about before. And it's quite weird. I've seen it many times, however, I think I've only seen it twice in the animes I've personally watched. And outside of that, it's just clips I've seen, however. The first one is kind of my fault since the anime itself is a Gunner one. Also, oh gosh, okay, also, my friend, if she's watching, she'll probably make fun of me for bringing it up, but it's time to say the anime name because I can't hide it. Merman in My Tub. So that's the anime we're about to talk about. Now, I begged and begged my dad to let me watch this, and I was fuming that I couldn't because it was PG, and yet I still couldn't watch it. And last year he finally budged and he said I could, so I binge watched it all. And to be honest, it was exactly what I expected and was warned about. Now, I do have two specific incidents I wrote in the script, but I don't know if I want to say the first one out loud because it's a little bit embarrassing. So I'm not sure, but I'll just, yeah, I think I'll cut the script a little bit short and get to the second one. The second one, which I think is disappointing because I thought she was somewhat cute, and I know you notice a she, that's because I'm going to be talking about the main character's little sister. And I don't know I don't know the main character's name or the little sister's name. The only name I remember is Wakaza the merman. But I thought she was really cute, and apparently apparently it's somewhat worse than the manga, but the MC sister is Oh my gosh, what was that? No, what was that? Like, I literally completely fumbled over my words. Holy moly. Okay, so we're gonna try that again. Unfortunately, the MC sister is a complete little sister trope. She's weird, like the trope type of weird, and then she's very clingy and jealous about Wakaza. I think I'm using jealous right. Like, she's not jealous. Wait, no, yeah, she's jealous of Wakaza, not about. So she's jealous of Wakaza, not about Wakaza, but she is jealous of him. And I'm pretty sure, like, in the episode when she actually went over to MC's house, she was like convinced Wakaza was like hiding. Well, no, not Wakaza. The MC was hiding a girl, I think, which turned out to be Wakaza. And then she still was jealous. I think thinking they were like partners or something. I can't really remember, but I think that's like the type of thing they were going for. And she just like I can't remember much of it, but I was very uncomfortable as soon as she appeared. Like I'm pretty sure she got like weirdly jealous about the fact like she found out that Wakaza and the MC bathed together and stuff. I was like, oh, you don't do that for me anymore. Like, just all weird about it. I don't like that. And she was like asking him to bathe with her. Like, no, no. The only thing I liked about her, or the only scene I liked, because the only thing I like about her is she's so cute. That's it. But the only scene I liked was when her and Wakaza were fawning over some shampoo brand. Aside from that, it was like just disappointing. And not only do I find tropes like that upsetting, but also literally the creator of Merman in My Tub is a woman. Like I don't get why you'd add that. And some people say it's for the appeal, like it's for more appeal towards a variety of audience. This time I'm assuming men. But why would you choose why would why would you choose to appeal to men in that way? Like it's just weird. It's just weird. Um the second one would be or the second example would be Yuri from Spy X Family. And some people now argue that he isn't actually weird because they weren't doing it before. Like, I promise you, they were not defending him before. I swear I never heard anything about them defending him. But they say it makes sense for him to be clingy and puppy dog energy or whatever, because they use other terms too, because he was literally raised by Yor. Which, yes, this is true, but there also are somewhat weird things about him. Like, I very much like not Yuri, but I feel like the first thing would probably be, and this is somewhat nitpicky, but if I remember correctly, he just had a bunch of pictures of Yor in his locker. It was like admiring it or something before he went to work, which is a little weird. But at most, I think the weirdest scene was just him getting like heart eyes over Yor, which I don't remember the scene. I just thought it was a little bit weird because that was towards his sister. Nothing terrible, just a little weird. And I do think he's leaning towards the little brother trope, but not as much as the MC's sister for Mermaid in My Tub, which it's kind of unsurprising, but yeah. I okay, there's some more in the script about him, but I think I'm going to move on now because it's just a little bit unnecessary and this is already getting kind of long, but An anime I do like with fan service, even though I know people might argue there's no fan service, is free rent. And like, I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "What do you mean there's fan service in free rent?" But I promise you, it does have it. It's just minimal. Like one of my favorite thing about free rent, and I'm specifically talking about Mistress Free Rent. I'm not talking about the series itself. But something that I like about Mistress Free Rent is the fact that she like collects potions, like cheeky little potions I wouldn't have not expected her to collect. Like if I remember correctly, she has mentioned it twice or more where she got this like potion that is dissolve clothes and another one where you could see through it and I kind of thought it was funny. Um and the scene itself, it was like in my opinion fan for service, but it wasn't like it didn't show anything weird. It was just like cheeky and I did not expect it from Mistress Rira and I really liked that scene. And another one I'd say was done right, a trope, I mean, not fan service, but a trope I think was done right, because me and my dad were talking about it, was one in Black Clover. And I don't know how this character acts throughout the series because I'm only on season one and I'm on like episode probably like 13 or something. Like, I have maybe even less. I have barely delved into Black Clover because I'm very inconsistent about it, and I know I will love the series, but I'm just stubborn. But anyways, there's a character who kind of has like I wouldn't say an obsession, but it's like more of a big brother trope. Like he constantly talks about how his sister, I think Rosaline, but I'm not completely sure, is an angel who can do no wrong, gives her funds to her, and even gets nosebleeds because she's just so adorable or whatever. And he actually isn't a weird character. Like, there's nothing goony about it, nothing weird about it. I think he was literally added so, like, the creator could show, like, hey, you can make a trope, you can make that trope without it being weird. I don't know, that might just be a push on my end. I might be taking it a little too far, but I do like it. I don't really like his character, but I do think it was done respectfully. I'd also like to use Inuyasha. However, there is like some issues with it. There isn't anything too terrible. I just remember some things like Mirko, or I'm trying not to say Mirko because I think it's spelled differently, so I think it's Miriko. I'm not sure though, but he always either touched Kagomi's or Sango's rear, which there was like a reason behind that, but it was still weird. And there's some other scenes too, but there isn't really like, to me, I don't think there's sexual intent behind it, so I'm not gonna say it. But what I do respect about Inuyasha is a small detail I found out. So I will talk about that real quick. Allegedly, the author slash creator for Inuyasha told the animators, no matter how harsh the wind is, don't show up Kagomi's skirt, or something like that. And I think that's like a really good thing to tell your animators. Like, I really appreciate that being added because even though it isn't necessarily sexual for that to be shown, in anime, I feel like it's commonly sexualized, whether it's from the animation itself, like the vibe, or just people in general, which with people isn't the animator's fault. And I've seen it done without sexual intent and at all, and people don't point it out and they aren't weird about it. So I think it's mainly how the anime portrays it. But I did find out an unfortunate thing for like I guess people who are watching the series in order, if that makes sense, because it's Inuyasha, then the movies, I believe, or like Inuyasha and in between Inuyasha movies, then Inuyasha Final Act, I believe, and after that it's Princess Yashimi. That's what I'm calling it, by the way. It's called. Wait, let me find where it is. Hold on. So it's called Yashimi Princess Half Demon, but I'm gonna call it Princess Yashimi. In Princess Yashimi, apparently, Rin and Sesshomaru get together, which I find extremely disappointing and weird because Rin was either 7 to 8 when she met Sesshomaru, and it's just like. Luckily, Princess Yashimi allegedly wasn't directed by the creator of Inuyasha or something like that, so I take it as a fan made piece. But like, it's just gross, and obviously, I'm not watching it because it's boring to me, and I just find the fact that they made Shishomaru and Ren get together extremely distasteful, especially because there's generally no reason for that. Like, people have tried to say others who complain about it are fake fans or dumb because it's not random at all. After all, near the end of the show, it did show Rin did have a crush on Shishomaru. However, there was still absolutely no reason Shishomaru should have married her and also had a kid with her, I think, because she was literally a child. Like, it still pisses me off that that actually happened in Princess Yashimi like that. And I feel like that in itself completely ruined the series for me. I refuse to watch it. Like, I genuinely just refuse to watch it now because of that. And I'm not sure if this has gone off topic. I'm genuinely not sure, but in general, I'm just talking about these tropes because I hate that I feel like these tropes that are somewhat predatory always get added. Like, I don't understand why it gets added. It's gross and unnecessary, and especially, I don't get why a woman will add it. Like, if I find out the author, or I guess I should call them maybe the mangaka, because I've seen that term, but I'm not sure if I'm using it wrong. But I don't get why these creators, especially female creators, will be adding these weird tropes. Like, are you not weirded out by it? Do you not see it as wrong? And I've known anime is weird. Respectfully, there is a reason why people used to get bullied for liking it, and they shouldn't have. But there absolutely was a reason for that, and I feel like I and many people forget anime in its roots was kind of weird. Like, it doesn't mean it originally, as in like the first anime ever or more, like, it doesn't mean that was weird or it always will be weird, and it absolutely does not mean people deserve to be bullied and still deserve bullying for watching anime. But I just find it disappointing. Like, genuinely, I don't know, like, I know by saying that technically it might come across as me excusing the authors because, like, well, you said anime has always been weird, but I'm not trying to excuse them, despite that these anime creators know they shouldn't be doing this, they shouldn't be adding that stuff, because what they're adding is weird. But maybe they don't know because they're so used to it, and regardless, I'm very tired of it being normalized, and it shouldn't be normalized. Like, I just want one series where a minor doesn't get sexualized and there isn't weird fan service. That's not hard to ask for. Anyways, I'm sorry if this video was a lot and I hope it was entertaining and not repetitive, but if you like it, please say your thoughts about this topic and feel free to rant about it too. My volume just went up like crazy. Hold on, it's blocking out my script. But if you liked this, no, I'm repeating it. Okay. Anyways, if you liked this, please say your thoughts about this topic and feel free to rant about it too. Because honestly, I need to know I'm not crazy and I'm not the only one who these stupid tropes. Anyways, with that being said, it is.